All right, hello everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of our weekly coaching webinar. So today I'm going to dive into a topic that's the most commonly requested topic that I hear from. A lot of our partners ask this question. Look, how do I get leads? How do I even start the process of marketing to be able to get the leads I need to make sales? And we've done a ton of training on this. As a matter of fact, I bet you if you look at our overall training, at least 70% of it, if not 75, has to do with marketing, how you get leads. So there's tons of additional resources. But today, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about developing a marketing strategy. Where do you go from knowing that you want to sell business credit financing? Maybe you have another business you're trying to grow, and you're just trying to figure out what's the best way forward to do this. I'm going to walk you through and give you a rundown of the easiest way to be able to start making sales with no money spent, and then how to start spending some of the money you're making, reinvest it into your business, and overall start growing and scaling the business. So I'm going to be spending some time today here in partner resources in partner basic training. One of the best sections that I like the most in our partner basic training is step 7, because this is where we really talk about advertising, marketing, how to do it, different forms of marketing, and give you all the resources that you need to typically be successful. So let me kind of give you one of the best tips I can give you early on. A lot of people start to pour in here, and I want those that are here right on time and early to get some of the best information, one of the best tips that I'll ever give you. And here's what it is. What a lot of people that I see business owners make a mistake is this. They're focusing, let me see if I can find this great image here. So what happens is most business owners are only ever focused on the people that are looking to buy right now. They're not really looking for anybody that may be buying in the future. And the result of that is, and the problem with that is that everybody's basically going after, let me see if I can pull up this image from a different place. Everybody's going after exactly the same customer. So the problem with this, and this is it's something that I see almost everybody out there in business that's really guilty of. And then you find the ones that aren't, and then those are the ones that are actually doing things the right way and are typically the ones that reach really high levels of success. So here's the best image I have on this process. So here's where I see people mess up. There's 3 stages, 5 stages, 7 stages, 10 stages, however many stages you want to find in a buying cycle. This is mapped out a bunch of different ways. I love this graphic. I've stayed with it for years, and I still teach it based on these 3 levels of buying, right? There's somebody that's interested, there's somebody that's researching, there's somebody that's buying. So what happens here is that everybody, for the most part, especially in small business and medium business, focuses advertising efforts right here on purchase stage, which what this means is it means somebody's ready to buy. They're ready to actually take action. So if we look at these 3 stages, again, you maybe heard me talk about this before, so we're not spending much time with it. People go from interested, then they start researching, then they purchase. Easiest example is a car. When you're interested in buying a new car, you're just paying attention to the other cars that are on the road, right? You're taking a few extra second look to the car lots that you drive by. You're sitting at stoplights looking at other vehicles similar to what you may buy. You're interested in buying a car. You're starting to think about what you may want. Then you move to a research phase. This is where you're now narrowing it down. You're figuring out what you may want to buy. Maybe your 1, 2, 3 models you're choosing from. You're looking at safety specs. You're looking at prices. You're looking at lease payments, etc. Then purchase, you walk on the lot, you demo the car, you're now in a position where you are ready to actually buy. So almost everybody focuses marketing effort, energy, and dollars on the purchase stage of a buying cycle. Yeah, you should. That's common sense. Only focus on getting money from people that are ready to buy, people that are ready to give you the money in return, right? So that makes perfect sense to do. We wait till somebody's in an action stage, and then what we're doing is we're sending them messages and we're trying to get with those people so they actually buy because now they're ready to buy. So this is where everybody's doing. This is called direct response marketing. Direct response means I'm going to advertise or market with the intention of getting a response directly from my advertising or market that I'm going to then make a sale. So the goal is that I send a postcard to 1,000 people, and my goal is to get a response from those people and somebody buy, and then I make my money. Okay, that's direct response. So most people are doing direct response advertising in the purchase stage. They're waiting for people to buy. They're putting ads out there ready for people to buy, waiting for people to take action when they get to that stage. Now, again, my philosophy is that that's insane because you ignore 2/3 of the buying cycle, interest and research. Like, that's ridiculous. The people that really win in business, and the ones that don't win haven't figured this out yet. The ones that win figure out how to get in front of people in the interest and research phase and how to stay front of mind for those people until they click into a purchase stage. So then what happens is they already dominate that part of the person's mind. So when they move to buying purchase stage, they immediately think of them and don't even go looking elsewhere for a source that can help them. That's the smart way to do it. So if we look at this, we say, okay, somebody's thinking about getting money for their business in the future. They don't know what, or when, or where. They're interested. Then they start researching. They start looking at different kinds of money available, et cetera, et cetera. Then they move to purchasing. Well, if you throw up a Facebook ad when they're interested, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to be looking for money down the road. That's interesting. A guide on building business credit. That's a way I can get money down the road. Now you grab them in interest. Then you market to them. Wow, they may never even have a research phase. They may only think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread because you've been the only one marketing to them, or maybe they move to a research phase and they start looking for answers and they realize you already answered all their questions through email. They have trust, credibility, rapport, and when they go to purchase, they immediately do business with you. So the key is that you have to get with people in this interest in researching phase. So here's what I like to describe it. A million different ways to do it, but Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point is a great book of reference for this. So what happens is there's two kinds of marketing. There's branding. Well, I'll call it branding. This could be anything other than direct response. Okay, maybe you're doing it for branding. Maybe it's just the right thing to do. Whatever, you're doing that. Then you're actually doing direct response. You're spending money to get people that are ready to buy. What happens is when you combine these very two powerful things, you reach a tipping point in your business that results in absolutely explosive growth. But here's the problem. 98% of entrepreneurs are too lazy to do both. So you have a huge advantage. If you understand how the system works and you start doing what 98% of them are too lazy to do, and to be honest, it's not that hard or time consuming to do, then what happens is short term, you will gain no advantage. But then what will happen is 6 months, 12 months down the road, all of a sudden, all the efforts from your branding campaigns work. And then that's combined with your direct response. Those two combine to a powerhouse of very, very, very big results. So here, let me give you an example of how this really works. So let's say that you come here to our page and let me just look at a couple of examples here. Let's look at YouTube as an example. So YouTube, I look at as more of, I sure want to scrub. Oh, by the way, didn't show you that. I should have. Anyways, okay, so YouTube is a form of what I'm describing. Okay, this is something I've called a million things along the way, especially called it one of the right things to do, right? So when I first started putting videos on YouTube, we didn't expect anybody to watch them. We were just doing webinars anyways. And so to take the webinar and just put it on YouTube made sense. It took no time to do. It was the right thing to do. We start seasoning a channel and adding some content and putting content out in the space. Nobody saw the video and called us and immediately enrolled. Months and months and months passed before anybody started to really engage and see our videos and like them, and viewership started to increase. For the first year, it got us nothing, no result at all. But then it started to become part of our business, and now it accounts for about 20% of our overall business comes from free traffic on YouTube. Now, if we would be only doing direct response, I want to do something right now to get a lead to make a sale, then we never would have got what would have accounted for 20% of our future business. So another perfect example of this is podcasting, right? Is iTunes. Same thing with iTunes. I'd say 5% to 10% of our business now comes from podcasting. But the interesting thing is that for the first year, it netted us no result. All we did was just take and did shows and we put up the videos. As a matter of fact, if you look at our initial podcast in the very, very, very beginning of our show, Okay, let me see. They only show 100 items here, but so you can't see. If you actually could see all of our shows, then what you would see is that you'd see that we actually released a bunch of those right in the beginning. What we did was we did a whole data dump. We just dumped all of our podcasts to iTunes in one shot. And the reason we did that is because we didn't really think we were going to go all in on the podcast. We just started doing it and we said, we do these webinars anyways, and they could be made in an MP4 and added to a podcast. So why not do that? It did not net us a result for even a year. So, but again, after a year, then all of a sudden our downloads radically increase. We start downloading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, 400, 500, 1,000 downloads for every single episode. Then all of a sudden people start coming to us and saying, I heard about you from your podcast. I want to enroll from your podcast. And then all of a sudden this, along with the people coming from YouTube, along with the people coming from our actual ads on places like, let's say, Facebook, all of a sudden these worlds collide, and then you see explosive growth. So the key here is that you got to do the branding stuff that 98% of entrepreneurs ain't gonna do, because they're too lazy and they don't want instant gratification. They want something that's going to give them a result right away. Starting a Facebook page and posting every day when you have no subscribers or no likes, that's doing things for the right reason for branding purposes, not doing it to make a direct immediate sale. And when you do stuff like building your social channels and adding YouTube and start adding all these videos there and start doing webinars even when nobody shows up, when you start a podcast and start doing things like this just to put content out in the space, to do the right thing, to brand, to put your info out there, knowing it's not going to net you any sales, it might not do anything for a year for you. But in a year, when it does it, when all these things start to click, 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 click on top of your direct response stuff, then all of a sudden the business just explosively grows. And it happens like this year after year after year after. It's kind of astonishing to see. So to give you an idea here, Credit Suite, we did like 3.4 million in sales last year. This year we'll do between 9 and 10 somewhere. So that's 300% growth. How do you do that? I'm telling you, this is exactly how you do it. You focus on branding long-term strategy. You combine it with short-term direct response strategy. The long-term strategy eventually starts to click in and start to be effective. The short-term has already been tested and is already hitting full steam. Then all of a sudden, the long-term stuff starts generating tons of leads on top of the short-term stuff that's generating leads. Your leads explode. You have to hire more salespeople very quickly, and that's how the whole thing happens. So first of all, when developing a marketing strategy, you need to do both. You have to focus both on grassroots and, well, not even really grassroots and mass marketing. You need to focus on the right thing to do, the branding. So how do you do this? Well, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to simply content, right? And I've done webinars in the last few weeks that you should watch if you haven't, that teach you how to take one piece of content and make it into like content you could put everywhere, right? Articles and PowerPoint presentations and blog posts and videos and everything. To show you how to do that. You go back through it. It's called the multiple uses model. We show you how to do all that. The other training that I did recently is called free information theory, and that really is the answer. So the answer here is, how is branding done? Well, branding is just basic information. It's content. So the person that puts the most content and information into the space wins. What is content? What is information? That's all the stuff that's in your back office already. So if we look here in Partner Resources Resource Library, content is all the information that's here for you, right? It's the articles, it's the press releases, it's the email content that you already have here. It's the webinars, it's the videos, it's everything that you already have, and more you can create. Now, the biggest problem I ever had in the past was time, right? To produce the content took a bunch of time, but for you, it's already done. It's already done. As a matter of fact, if you are executive, I take the actual webinars I do every week and I give you the video, professional video, and the PowerPoint, and I give you the PowerPoint before I even have it. As a matter of fact, you probably get my PowerPoints 5 months before I do, because they're making webinars right now for February of next year. They're that far ahead. And when they do the webinar, they do the PowerPoint, they put the PowerPoint here 4 or 5 months before I even do it as a video myself. So now the whole system is created where you literally get content nearly a half a year sooner than I get the content to do the training. So you can actually do videos on our topics before we even do videos on our topics. We cut the hard work out of it. One of the hardest parts was coming up with these PowerPoints. These PowerPoints take 2 hours to research to create the actual PowerPoint, to come up with the concepts of these, and then to actually come in and create all the PowerPoints. And again, these are PowerPoints, not an executive. These take a bunch of time and energy and money to be able to do, right? So we've already done them for you. All you have to do is fire up a webinar and go live, and boom, you're it. Fire up a YouTube, go live, and you're in, right? Or just do a screen share and make a video. But my advice is to do an actual webinar. It's so super simple. We've already done all the PowerPoints. And again, if you go to executive and get PowerPoints, you'll access a lot of those. We even have a lot more of them as you scroll down. So as you scroll down, you're able to access all different kinds of topics, PowerPoints, everything you need, and you should do your own. So how do you get content in the space? Well, you do your own webinars, you do your own videos, you take our videos and put it up in your channels, in your place. You do anything and everything you can to either, one, create your own content, which is kind of crazy because we created it all for you, or take the content that's already created, make it your own, and put it out in the space as many places as possible, and do so consistently. Look, YouTube, it works because what it's looking for is 2 things: recent content, and it's also looking for consistency. It wants people that regularly put videos up there. Here, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'll show you how you're getting beat by a nobody. I'll show you. I could be wrong. So when I look in business credit, the #1 video that pops up right here is from Brandon Weaver. Don't know if you know Brandon. I happen to like Brandon a lot. He doesn't know who I am at all or that I talk about him, but I love him. I love what he's doing. And here's why: because he's putting information out consistently, so much to a point where you can see here, his video takes priority over anything, even videos that we've done. Even today's video that went live, he's taking precedent over all of our videos. So what YouTube is saying, we're no longer even going to give you, us being the most content on the topic, we're not even going to give you priority. They're giving people that aren't even in our industry priority because they're putting out regular content and it's consistent content. So this means that right now you can dominate YouTube more than we can. You see it, look right there. Brandon's a credit repair guy. He doesn't even do business credit. He's a credit repair guy, but still #1 because he's putting out consistent content on YouTube. But again, this never happened in the beginning. Now, for the record, Brandon is a pretty smart guy, because what he's realizing is what I'm telling you. The people that do what I'm describing are the ones that build the biggest followings, that build these 7- and 8-figure businesses. Brandon is a credit repair guy. But if you talk to Brandon about his revenue, I feel fairly confident that he's going to tell you he's probably in one of the top 5% of all credit repair companies in the country. And I don't think he's been around that long. Why? Because he's consistent with his content. He's regularly putting information in the space. He's becoming the trusted authority in his actual area. And in doing so, social channels, other places are recognizing him as an influencer, and they're giving him more attention and more authority and more priority as a result. So you need to make sure that you focus on short-term and long-term strategies. It's extremely important from the very beginning. A lot of what you're going to be doing to develop your marketing plan really comes down to, well, top right of our page. It's focusing on things that you are going to do now that take a little effort, but that will produce long-term results. What do those include? Doing webinars. One, you should be doing them. We do the PowerPoint. The webinar is only an hour. It's worth your time once a week to do a webinar. Okay, that gets people used to coming to see you live. If you don't want to do the webinar and promote it to your email database, do it as YouTube Live. Okay, but either way, do it as YouTube Live, which, by the way, What happens with YouTube is the minute you go live, they give you all kinds of priority over other videos. We even go live and they push us to first position while we're doing the video because they really want live. So going live on YouTube is a great way to do it using our existing PowerPoints that we have. Okay. Oh, and it's recorded and it goes right on YouTube, or just do it as a webinar. Either way. So webinars are a great thing you should be doing. You should be building a YouTube channel and taking the videos we've given you, uploading them, giving them your own name, your own title, your own descriptions to make them unique. You can even use ones like this. This is TubeBuddy or vidIQ. These are two services that we've added that are super cheap to add, as you can see here. And this tells us related searches. It tells us most used tags. So it even tells you the tags to choose on the video. So it even helps you come up with this. It's called TubeBuddy is one, and vidIQ. Those are two super cheap services we use for YouTube. You don't need both. One or the other will work. You could schedule your videos. You could do all kinds of things, including make it easy to get your keywords. Next, create social platforms. Create Facebook. Create Twitter, maybe. Create Instagram, definitely. And any other social channels that are for, mid 30s to mid 50 age. We're not on Snapchat. There's a lot of other places that you could be right now, including Snapchat, including I don't know. I'm not a big social guy, but figure out the ones in the right demographic and set up a profile there and start posting right away. Okay. Set up maybe a podcast and make your podcast only when you do webinars every single week. Then after you do 3, 4, 5, then start making those into a podcast. All you have to do is take the video file, make it into an MP4, and then upload it and using a service called Libsyn, Libsyn. And for the record, Libsyn, we actually did a webinar on how to start a podcast. You can go back to our webinar on this topic. I show you how to set up the entire podcast. So set up a podcast. Yeah, it's going to take you 30 minutes to an hour to set up initially. But after that, you could even use a virtual assistant to just take your YouTube video, make it an MP4, upload it to iTunes, and you're good. It'll cost you very little time or money to take the content and make it there. Figure out what other social channels you could use to be able to start getting your information out in the space. What other places could you use? Maybe you could create a video course. There's all kinds of free of courses out there that charge money for courses. Well, we have some on those. Don't know about which ones we have them on. They never produced big results, so we tested them out. We answer questions on Quora. I have one of the guys on our team that's on our social team runs our social team, Michael. He surprised me the other day. He said, Quora is one of the first things I check every day. I get in there and answer questions. Wow, that's interesting. So there are people that this is all they do. Quora, advertising, answering questions in Quora. So there's a lot of ways you can get content out in the space. But when it comes to branding, develop a branding strategy. What are long-term things you could do to get your information out in the space to start becoming an authority? I'll tell you who's great at this is a great friend of mine, Derek Harper. Now, Derek has a huge advantage over what I do. And I'll tell you what, no, I'm not saying he has an advantage and that's why he's better in this, right? He just chooses to do something I don't do. I don't market anything on my personal Facebook page. I just don't, never have, don't market. I don't do much on social media, rarely, maybe once a month will I even post personally on my social media channel because I don't even know anybody that follows me on social media anymore. It drives my wife crazy when a bunch of people that aren't really our immediate close friends see all the stuff going on with their family and stuff. So I just don't do a lot on social, but Derek lives on social. Look at this. He's followed by 58,000 people and he's in the credit repair industry, one of the biggest authorities in the credit repair industry, speaks at every one of the events. Every event that took place last year, he was speaking at for the industry. He does boot camps and does other events all around the country. I spoke at several of them. Last one was 60 people in a room. I think they paid $1,000 a piece to be there, 500 to $1,000. So, from one event that he did, he's planning another huge event next year, which will probably be 500 people at his event. And he's done all this because he comes in and he educates, he teaches, he shares just like this. It's a brainstorm, work all day. Okay. Here's actual videos and videos he's doing here. So you'll see that Derek is just consistently posting. He's constantly posting. He's constantly doing lives. He's constantly coming in and helping other people and becoming the authority. When you do this, when you start releasing this content into the space, you start becoming an authority in the space. And it becomes very important because when you become the authority in the space, for example, Derek is great because he uses social. For example, when I do a Facebook Live, I might have 25 or 30 people there. Derek will chime in, come into my live. He shares one time, and it takes me to 275 people on my live stream. It's unlike anything I've seen. He literally takes me from 25 to 275 within minutes because he has such a following. His live streams, he can have 10 or 20,000 views to his live stream. He goes live once and 10 to 20,000 people watch him. So how is he doing this? How's Brandon doing this? Well, these guys are all doing the same thing. They've chosen to become an authority in their field. And that means they need to teach what they know regularly to everybody. So if you come in, Brandon's doing short videos, 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. These don't take a bunch of time from him. But in these short ones, he's teaching all different kind of topics. So don't say, well, I don't have time for 30, 60-minute videos. The truth is, I shouldn't even be doing 30, 60-minute videos anymore. I just finished recording literally 147 videos that are all short videos. I did 95 of them, or 96, are all 1-minute videos. I'm moving to a short video format. Why? Because look, people like this are kicking my butt. He's got what? No time on this. 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 6, 6, 6, 6. But he is crushing everybody on rankings with videos that are less than 15 minutes long. So again, Brandon, Derek, these guys are becoming the authority in what they do. And in doing so, they're building this explosive brand. But here's what's crazy. They're doing it completely under the radar. Nobody even knows what they're doing until it's too late. That's the beautiful thing about a branding campaign. Nobody knows what you're doing until it's too late. By the time they realize that these short videos you've been putting out there are now getting 10,000 views, it's too late for them to catch up. They're years behind you. They know it, and so they never even try to do it. Okay, so again, branding is part of your strategy. It has to be. What are you going to do long term to put content and information in the space to start becoming an authority? What are the channels you're going to use? I started with Periscope. I moved to Facebook Live. Here are our main channels at the top right of our page that you can see. We've tried a lot of them. These are the channels that we go with. The best ones I've seen for real response is Instagram is fantastic. YouTube is fantastic as well, and Facebook can be, again, depending on how good your real content is. Now, also keep in mind, your content can suck. That's okay. My strategy has always been do the bare minimum to start doing whatever it is that you should be doing. Okay, do the bare minimum. Now, in most worlds in business, we call this an MVP, a minimal viable product. Get the product to market as soon as possible and improve quality, etc. later. So we are doing that right now. I'm not even sure if it's fixed. I'm going to look right now. If you look and follow us on Facebook, what you notice is over the last few weeks, we stopped posting. We stopped all social media posting completely for weeks. The reason we did it was because we wanted to get a grasp on the content quality that we were actually releasing, okay? So here's the new one that comes back. And this is the first post I've seen of our new post, actually. But I like it. So now what happens is now we stop focusing on volume, content all the time, to now we start asking ourselves, how can we come up with really quality content? How can we improve the content, prove what we're putting out there to make it even better? So after you start doing the right thing, just to do the right thing and make sure that you're actually getting it done, then the next thing you want to do is start over time improving the quality of what you have, okay? So for example, this is something new that we just started. I don't know, first time I've ever seen it. Will it work? I don't know. It might work. We'll see how it actually goes. We'll see if people like it and they they engage with it. We don't know. But this is an interesting fact, right? So this is based on, let's get an image that stands out, that's kind of shocking, that would make somebody stop for a second. And then let's put together a fact that it's interesting. It's illegal to run out of gas in Youngstown, Ohio. Didn't know that. It's interesting. And then again, something cool that goes with it. So our content wasn't bad for years. It just never got a lot of engagement. But since we were doing the right thing for so long, we eventually are able to take steps and start improving the quality of content that we actually have. So if your content sucks in the beginning, that's okay. Like, I've got 5 years of sucking under my belt here at Credit Suite. It sucked. Our content was not good at all, but we did the right thing consistently, and the social channels rewarded us. Now we're going to do even more of the right thing by making the content better. And the better the content, the more engaging the content, the more the social channels will like it, and the more they will be able to actually show to more people. Okay. So content first, get it out there, then start focusing on the actual quality of it after that. Now, that's only going to get you so far. We can't just come in here and, based on branding and branding alone, be able to come in and build your business. Branding stuff is fantastic. That's the secret sauce. That's the stuff that most people are too lazy to do. That's the stuff that if you start doing right now, in a year, it'll be so explosive for you that nobody will be able to hold you back. That is the stuff that will make you an authority in your industry, that will make you an expert, that will start gaining you your own following. Okay, guys, look, I'm not the only expert in business credit. Okay, I'm the only one that stepped forward. There's a million gurus and experts in every freaking industry. You know how many real estate investing gurus there are? My friends in the credit repair space that teach people how to run credit repair companies. I have like 20 great friends that's all they do, and you probably know most of them. They're everywhere. So there's a lot of gurus. There's plenty of room for more gurus, as long as you're putting that content and information out there. But if you're becoming the guru, if you're focusing on the branding, it doesn't mean that and that alone is going to make you successful. You then have to start focusing on direct response. What are you going to do to get money right away? Now, the easiest way to start this is to go to, I'm going to pull this over here, is to go to suitelogin.com and look back at the weekly webinars that we've actually done. Okay. There's a lot of great resources here on these weekly webinars, which will teach you all different kinds of advertising and marketing, and ways you can advertise and market. And you could search them and look at all different kinds of things here. But the best thing you want to do is focus on the easiest way to start marketing and get leads. Now, I'm in step 7.3 in partner basic training. My favorite document in the back office is here, marketing, advertising, and training guide. I try to update this about every 90 days. So you always want to look back 90 days for the most recent topic. All the rest of them are here. And this guide basically breaks down however you may want to market all the webinars we've done on that topic. Hosting and selling on webinars. Here's 5 videos on that topic. Using social media. So these top advertising strategies are definitely videos to watch. Every 3 to 6 months, I do one of those. It's the 5 or 7 best ways to market. This will give you some insight of the easiest things that you should be doing to be able to market now. Let me give you an example. First of all, when you're just starting in business, to spend any money on advertising is kind of insane. It's kind of crazy because you don't have a bunch of money to spend. So my advice is to focus on these top advertising strategies. Focus on strategies that are free, the ones that absolutely cost you no money whatsoever. Where's the places to go to get your easiest customers, okay? That's where you really want to go initially to start advertising and marketing. So for example, what you really want to do is you really want to come in and you really want to focus, for example, on things like your existing database. How many people are you talking to in your other business? Maybe you have a primary business right now that come in the door. How many people of those are you asking, do they own a business, they want to start a business? It's the easiest thing to do. Make sure everybody coming in your door right now, you ask, do you own a business? Do you want to start a business? Okay, those are the best leads. If they say yes, you have a candidate to then ask them, hey, are you interested in getting money for the business? And then move into what we've talked about over the last 3 weeks with how to interview, how to present, how to close, or just tee them up and send them to us through Premier Partner and we'll do it all. Doesn't matter. Either way, make sure you ask the question and make sure that you come in, and if they answer yes, ask them if they're interested in coming in and being able to get money for that business. Okay. Next thing is come in and actually talk to anybody that you can. So an interesting thing is that we had gone to some training events in the past where we actually had a whole day to talk about business credit training, et cetera. And at night, we would take all of our most successful partners out to dinner. And what was interesting was that we would, first time we went to dinner, I got used to this after the first time. The first time we went to dinner, we all came in as a group and we went to sat down, and then like part of our group was missing. I'm like, where did they go? We walked in the front door, we sat down. How did they get lost in between? They finally made their way back. And what happened was the partners walked in the restaurant, and the very first thing they did was went to find the owner to talk to the owner about getting money for his business. And what was interesting was that it wasn't one partner that thought of this. Several partners, the minute we walked in the door, immediately went to do exactly the same thing. And it taught me a very valuable lesson. I learned, I'm like, wow, that's why these guys are the most successful partners we have. And I shouldn't say guys because one of them was a lady. And I'm like, that's why they are the most successful partners we have. By default, mentally, it triggers that anywhere they are, they're looking for a business owner. They're looking to talk to them. They're going to go up to the restaurant owner and go, this restaurant is awesome. I have to tell you, one of the most amazing places I've ever eaten. And the restaurant owner's blushing and says, oh, thank you so much. That's so awesome. Listen, man, I help business owners get money to expand businesses like this. Are you at all in the interest to get money for the business for expansion or to grow or hire more people? And then what they say, no, you don't lose anything. They don't see it as you soliciting them. You didn't inconvenience them because you came to them with a blushing comment about how great the business was, then said you love it so much you want to help it get capital. That's to them, that's a compliment. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, you didn't lose anything. By default, what's interesting is that this group, it's what they did everywhere we went. They immediately went and looked for the business owner. You should be doing that in your circle. I mean, our top partners get people from car washes. They walk into a car wash and then they ask the people, hey, they get talking to them. What do you do? You own a business? Oh, man, what do you do? Tell me about it. Oh, man, that sounds like amazing. Like, I'm in the business to help people like you get money. And I got to tell you, a business model like that, man, there's a lot of lenders, there's a lot of business credit sources that would want to give you money. Would you be at all interested in getting money to expand? You're giving them a blushing compliment. And in doing so, you're basically asking them if they're interested. Look, what I love about sales is a number game. What I love about selling business credit and financing is the profit margins are enormous. They are huge. So we can talk to the same 100 people we have to talk to sell a low-level product, but make a heck ton more money in doing so. So what's nice about that is if you're going to talk to 100 people, I don't know, if you're going to the car wash, why not ask 5 people what they do? You just knocked out 5% of your 100 right there just by asking people at the car wash what they do. So again, talk to everybody around you. It really is one of the absolute easiest ways to get people is to advertise to people that are already around you. Okay, they're already there. They already want your actual business, or they already already know you in a lot of cases. So again, that's one of the main ways you need to get customers. Now, another is from your inner circle. For example, social media. It makes no sense for you to not be coming in and actually focus on social media because, again, the thing about social media is that with social media, you can get with all the people you know without being intrusive. You're not calling them all going, hey, man, I'm offering this new thing now. Will you buy from me? You're able to just put a message out there and go, hey, we just helped this guy. You can pull case studies from our website. You can go right here to our website, credibility, come into case studies, look at actual approvals, share those, share an actual approval, grab one of these actual approvals and share one of those, share a case study and put, hey, we just helped John get $56,000 in account receivable funding. Love watching people like this succeed. If you post enough of that kind of stuff, what's going to happen is they're going to want to know like what you're doing, right? So they're going to want to know, like, what are you doing? They're going to be asking you about it. So posting on your own social media channels makes a lot of sense as well. It's really working your network and then working social media as well. And here is a presentation I did not too long ago where we kind of talked about that. Work from your network, easiest and free ways to get it, right? Work your social media. You don't have to be all salesy. Not even a simple message that says, this is what I do, but hey, I just helped somebody get this result. Congratulations to them. One of my buddies, Khalid, sells cars in Texas. Every car he sells, he shares it on his own personal social media with a congratulations to those people. I think it's freaking brilliant. So he comes in and goes, hey, congratulations to the Smith family on their new purchase of this Tesla, whatever it may be, Tesla S-Class, and then here he is. So, what's nice about it, I probably mixed up Tesla and Mercedes, my bad, don't know the Tesla models. So, and he doesn't even sell Tesla anyways. But again, it's pretty brilliant from him because every time he posts that, he's not soliciting his friends to buy a car, but what he's doing is he's saying, hey, congratulations to these people. He looks good at what he does just because he's taking the time to congratulate those people. That makes him look good. And anybody else that wants to buy a car sees that over and over and over again and automatically knows that he's the guy you go to if you want to buy that kind of car. So again, it makes a lot of sense. You don't have to be all salesy about it. It really just comes down to coming in and working that social media. And here is a buddy of mine, Jesse, who moved to Hawaii. I hope he's doing good. He was in the credit repair space, and here's some examples of some stuff he was doing. Some of the best credit advice I can offer: don't apply for credit lines unless you know you'll get it. So here's him using social. See that? He's not soliciting. He's not like doing things that would be intrusive to people. He's building his brand, first of all, pretty brilliantly, by the way. And second, he's also coming in and letting everybody know, this is what I do. This is what I can do to help you. And here's some free advice. Okay, so here's another one. This is my passion, and I'd love to show you how to master your credit and finances this Saturday at this event. Here's a quick video of him at that actual event. Okay, here's one where he says, I just got the year-end statement from one of my credit cards, and it's an amazing exact example of how I'd like all my students, and here it is. Then he's got this here where he's teaching his course. This is a great example of somebody that's building his brand. He's in credit repair. He's building his brand, not being all salesy with what he's putting on his social platforms, et cetera, but he's still able to come in and hit everybody in his database just by doing this, right? So again, ask for interest, host seminars, ask for referrals, get affiliates. Social media can really be used for any of these type of things. Now, Facebook groups is another long play, right? So let me tell you a little secret. Get on LinkedIn right now and create a LinkedIn group right now, today. Here's why. I've been telling you guys about this for months. Microsoft bought LinkedIn last year. They just now, right now in the last month, are getting to groups. And they're making some significant changes in groups to make groups a real powerhouse, which means people that start LinkedIn groups right now or have had one previously are going to get all kinds of added benefits when LinkedIn starts to go all in on groups. Now, let me tell you this, it's a branding play. It's going to suck result-wise. You don't get anything. Their groups are horrible right now. That means now's the time to get in and start marketing in groups before it gets big. Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, these are great places to be able to go. It makes a bunch of sense, okay? So here's somebody that's coming in and using, let me see, this is credit repair. Let's show you, contact me. So these are people that are basically using LinkedIn advertising. So again, a great way to go, even using messages in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place to go to reach out to your connections. Our strategy on LinkedIn is typically operated by VAs. You can go back in the training. We have training on how to do this. You could basically use VAs, virtual assistants, to do mine for you. We give them 5 posts to post. Here's a quote that we found on LinkedIn. Here's something that you may enjoy. We connect with them on LinkedIn. We send them 3, 4, 5 cool things. Then we ask them if they'd be interested in getting business credit financing. They look at their message chain. They see we haven't solicited them. All we've done is given them value, and it's a great way to cold go in and do a little bit of research to see. Pick up your phone. Look up your phone. Look at your social media contacts. Look at your phone contacts. Okay, any of those people, whether you reach out to them direct. Networking events. That's how I got my start. I highly recommend networking events for all of you. Look, if money is a concern and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, one of the easiest places you're going to get leads is networking events. It's absolutely go into your existing database, digging into your social media channels, going to networking events to get leads. And again, we've done all kinds of training that give details about those things specifically more than just what I'm mentioning here. Another one really comes down to getting affiliates, because you could tap into people you already know for this. Okay, you can tap into people you already know. You know, who do you know that could be a potential affiliate? Who do you know who knows people that could be potential affiliates? And again, you're not even soliciting them. You're going to an insurance agent. Go, do you deal with business owners? Yes. Can you insure businesses? Yes. I deal with business owners. Can I send those people that are looking for insurance your way? Yes. Can I at all help your customers with getting business credit and financing? I don't know. Look, I could pay you $500 just on anybody you refer that I help get money. Will that help you? You know, so again, affiliates are a great place to go that cost very little money, if at all. So my next advice, go to low hanging fruit, right? If you want to make sales right away, networking events are the way to do it. Working your existing network, working your actual social. Those are the ways. Going in and getting some of these initial affiliates. These are some of the best ways to be able to do it beyond the branding, right? The branding is the long-term stuff, the Facebook group, the LinkedIn group, the social media channels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So big boy, you want to spend some money? So now you probably want to start spending some money, right? Because that's what we all, let's be honest, I think most of us really want. I'm the kind of guy where I want to sit at home in my boxers and be able to make money without having to actually go door to door and get leads, right? Although that's not really the case. I work in the office all the time, and these guys probably wouldn't like it if I just showed up in my boxers. Maybe they would, don't know. But again, what it really comes down to is that you just want to kick back and let the business roll in the door, right? Well, the problem with that is in order for that to work, you're going to have to spend money. And it's hard to spend money unless you're actually doing things that are generating money for you now. So this is why I'm telling you, do the branding stuff. It takes little time. It's long-term strategy. Then do the low-hanging fruit stuff. Look at those videos in that guide I give you. Go through my best 3, my best 5, my best 7 marketing strategies, because this gives you the top advertising strategy. You don't need to watch all these videos. You watch 5, you'll get 5 or 10 of my top marketing strategies that will help you get leads and sales right away. Next, it's time to actually start making sales. So again, what I've talked about so far is really some grassroots marketing. Grassroots marketing is networking events, it's affiliates, it's working your existing network. It's grassroots. The difference is it's low volume. You're not going to deal with the high volume of leads, but it's high rapport. Low volume, not a high volume of leads, high rapport, which means you're face to face, you're talking to people, you're interacting one-on-one. So it's high engagement, high trust, high rapport. So what this means is it means you're going to talk to fewer people. You're going to build more trust, credibility, and rapport because they can shake your hand, see you face to face, and see you week to week after the networking event, for example. There's less resistance to make a sale. It's going to be your easiest and fastest sales. Grassroots really should never stop. Once you figure out how to do grassroots, the next thing you want to do, you want to train salespeople to do it for you. You want to have them continue where you left off. You want to have them follow the steps you followed for your social channels. You want to have them go to the networking events. You want to have them continue to work the affiliates you work. The groundwork that you've done to accomplish grassroots marketing, you don't want to just let sit. You want to let it go. You want to let a salesman continue that journey for you to continue to make even more money as you come in and do more of the grassroots actually kind of marketing, okay? So again, a lot of these people that you can get as affiliates, right? Bankers, commercial banks, attorneys, et cetera, we've got plenty of other marketing and training on how to get affiliates, plenty on networking events if you want it. Again, you just come into that downloading guide and you do look, right? Online credibility or seminars, Facebook ads, cold calling, almost any kind of advertising you could want. The main ones we all have here where you can get more information, more resources. So now you want to spend some money. Now it's time for what I call volume marketing strategy. Volume marketing is when you're going to spend money. You're going to have to bring in a large volume of leads. And then of that large volume of leads, only a very small fraction of them will ever convert to a buyer. This is a longer term strategy because there's no trust, credibility, and rapport. You're going to need things like a sales funnel. If you're our ultimate customer already, great. If not, we have a done for you program, creditsuite.com/done for you, where we'll set up your emails for you. Or if you want to set them up yourself. Don't care. If you come in to partner resources and come in to get the 12 months worth of email content, set that up as a funnel. You're going to need a funnel to do this. You're also going to need some kind of landing page. Now, if you go to our main website, creditsuite.com, and just look on blog, you'll find plenty of landing page offers on the right-hand side and in each article, okay? So you can see here that this is a landing page offer. You can easily click on this and you can see what our landing page is like. Now, you also need to look back to the most recent recent webinars we've done on marketing. And again, you can look on this marketing download. And again, if you don't know where this is, it's 7.3. Right here's the download. Partner resources, partner basic training, vault 7.3. Right here's the download. Okay, and then that download, you could just come down to Facebook, and you can get our most recent videos on Facebook, pay-per-click, this type of advertising. So when you're ready to start spending some money, now it's time to start moving to volume marketing. This is when you're going to spend money. So the question becomes, what do you spend money on? Well, here's my advice. For one, figure out what it is that you have some kind of knowledge or some kind of connections or some kind of background in right now and test there. For example, my whole history was email marketing. That's what I did. So when I came to Credit Suite, we built the entire business based on what I knew, email marketing, and we expanded from there. It's a much easier course for you if you understand something and get into that first than something else. So here's a simple example from this one page here. Have you done yard signs before? Newspaper ads, magazine ads, Craigslist ads? Have you done this kind of stuff? What of this kind of stuff have you actually done? Okay, cold calling, direct mail. Do you have SEO experience? Do you have experience with Facebook ads, with Google ads? Do you have experience in any of these areas? Okay, if you don't, what areas do you have experience in? Do you have experience with text marketing, with newspaper marketing? Again, a good thing to do is to grab this download and look at these sections. Here's some good sections, okay? There's live video. There's social media selling. There's networking. There's top advertising strategy. There's seminars. There's Facebook. There's pay-per-click. There's affiliates. There's cold calling. So there's a lot of different ways we can look at here to be able to scale this. Now, for example, if you have experience on radio, which several of our partners did, they immediately started selling this on radio and were very successful. We have other partners that came in and they were actually cold calling. So they were actually call center guys. So they came in and what they did was roll this out in the call center because that's what they always did. That's what they knew. They rolled it out into a call center format. So starting with what you know is the easiest path of least resistance. But let's say you know very little at all. Well, then here's my advice. Start with Facebook. Start with Facebook ads. And here's why. You could test with Facebook ads super cheap, super simple, super cheap. You could spend $20 a month and test and see if something works for you. So this is something that you can get a lead for $2 to $4 per lead. It's fairly manageable, okay? By putting together an ad, and then again, as you just kind of saw, then you got to have the landing page, and then you got to have, let me see, let's go back here where I was. So you're going to have an ad. You're going to have an actual landing page, okay, like you see here. And you're going to have a free guide that you're going to give away as part of that landing page. Or maybe this doesn't work. Well, that's messed up. It just looks nice, but it doesn't even work. All right, I got to figure that out. Okay, so let me just go here then. creditsuite.com/EIN, my go-to. Oh, okay. So if you need help here, no worries. Just go back through our most recent training on Facebook. Again, I showed you the guide where to get that most recent training. We teach you exactly how to do the landing page. We teach you how to do the ads. We teach you how to pick the images for the ads. We teach you how to get the audience for the ad. If you go back to our guide on the most recent ones we've done on Facebook here, you're going to see that when I come down to Facebook and Google, this one right here, we show it all to you. We show you the avatar, we show you the audience, we show you the ads, we show you the language in the ads, we show you how to create the landing page. You already have the free guides that are customizable. We show you how to do all that. Now, the nice thing about all that is once you have landing pages and all that stuff done, you could then advertise on Facebook and Google. You could do Facebook and Google at that point. So where would you start? Where should you start? Here's my advice. One, Facebook ads. It's super cheap. It's super simple. It's super easy. As I just mentioned, it costs you very little money to get into. And if you follow our advice, you'll have set up ads, landing pages. You'll have done a lot of research that will help you get into other platforms. Beyond that, move to Google. Google's another great place to go. There's a lot of things, and we're having a lot of great results using Google right now. So it's a second place I would go. Third, YouTube. Go to YouTube. We're not even advertising on YouTube. I know of no company that exists right now that's advertising business credit and funding on YouTube. None. Think about it. I just told you that an entire industry that business owners want to know a lot about has no presence on YouTube ads whatsoever. It's a completely right market. We haven't even got there yet. So those would be the three areas I would tackle. Facebook's going to be the easiest for you. Here's the problem with Facebook. It's really hard to scale this, really hard. Meaning that we have a full-time person on our team. It's pretty much all he does now is manage Facebook, because growing Facebook at the level we're trying to grow it is very hard to do. You have to spend a little bit more every day, a little more every day, a little more every day to get your leads. So what you need to know about Facebook ads is that Facebook, super cheap, super easy to get in and test. It's how we got our start with advertising. We got our return on investment right away. We started making more than we were spending right away. It's a great way to go. But when you start to get to, and you want to spend a lot more to get more, it's a little bit tougher. You just need to know you're going to have to spend a little bit more every day to start scaling that up. Next, again, go to Google. There's not a lot of people right now still competing with Google. And again, you want to know somewhere else even better to go? Go to Bing. Nobody's on Bing right now. Nobody. We're getting ready to tackle Bing because nobody's advertising on Bing right now. Will it get us good return on investment? I don't know yet. I will report back. But if I were in your shoes right now and I'm going to pay money, Facebook would be my number one. Google would be my number two. I would consider a cheap test on Bing because I already paid for Google. If you already did all the work for Google for the landing pages, the ads, etc., just duplicate everything to Bing and let it run, let it rip. Very little money, same time committed because you already built it for Google. So why not test that out? The next thing I would do if I were you right now is I would be focusing on Gmail ads. Nobody else knows about those either. You can now advertise directly in people's Gmail inbox. Nobody knows about this and it's blowing up. So get on Gmail ads. I haven't tested it yet. We're going to test this month, but it's something I would spend a little money testing because you could test with a little bit of money. Gmail is extremely popular and it's something nobody's really doing a lot of right now. So I think it makes a lot of sense to do. So those would be some of my best volume strategies. Facebook 1, Google 2. I would throw Bing at 3. I don't know anything about how it's going to work, but if I'm going to do Google, I'm going to do Bing. I might as well knock out both at the same time. I'm going to go to YouTube. Nobody's on YouTube right now at all. You could do a quick 30-second video. There's all kinds of training on how to teach you how to do just quick 30-second videos to get people's attention. Run some YouTube ads and see if that actually can produce some results. Do some Gmail advertising and marketing as well. Something else you may want to dip your toe into is LinkedIn advertising. The problem is LinkedIn still officially sucks. Like they're just not good yet. So their advertising, you may be able to get in, but you're not going to get really good results on LinkedIn. I would not even mess with LinkedIn and Twitter and any of these other ones right now. I really wouldn't. If you want to, go for it, do it. But my advice is Facebook first, Google second, Bing right up there with Google. Try the Gmail type ads. That's another great way to go as well. As I mentioned, I think all those good. Podcast advertising has not worked well for us right now. Direct mail, we barely tried. We're about ready to do a 5 postcard test campaign in September. So by the end of September, I should have some feedback for you regarding direct mail, and I should have some feedback for you regarding Gmail advertising as well. So that's really the most effective way to develop a marketing strategy. One, don't forget about your branding. Do the long-term stuff. Build your social channels. Throw up an iTunes channel. Do your webinar every single week. Focus on pouring as much content into the world as you can. It will net you no immediate result, but it will net you a huge tipping point of long-term results down the road. And it helps build you as an authority, which is extremely important. If you could start doing that by putting out content, teaching and educating and helping. Look, I know it's maybe you're an introvert. I know I am too. Trust me. If I have a choice, I'm like by myself in like a dark place to my thoughts. Okay, so it takes a lot to put yourself out there, and people are surprised. My people that are around me, like as my close friends, they know like I do not like to put myself out there at all. But people that know me on the business sense, that's shocking to them because I'm out there all the time. I'm out there because I know I need to be for the sake of the company. So if you're the same way, buck up. Suck it up, Buttercup. Get out there, get going, have a presence, start building your brand. Whether you like being the center point or not, the bigger brands, the 7-8 figure businesses are putting somebody as their focal point, their figurehead that's out there talking, building, teaching, educating. Okay, so make sure you're doing the branding stuff. Don't forget to come in and grab the lowest hanging fruit, right? Don't forget to grab the stuff that's just too easy to do, like affiliate marketing, right? Like us coming in and getting affiliates, like you talking to your existing network, talking to all new people you have coming in the door, working people on social, not being all salesy, but telling them more about what you do so they know they can come to you to actually get it. Go to networking events, one of the easiest places you can go to get new sales, and start talking to affiliates. If you already have a sales team, have them do this so you don't have to, and monitor their progress. If you're doing it and you're a solopreneur, you do all this. Learn how it's all done, document what you're doing, script what you're saying, put as much down on paper as possible, then hire somebody else to come in and teach them how to do everything, and you take that role over as you start moving towards the volume marketing strategies. And the volume marketing strategies are really the last step on your journey. This is when you're actually going to come in and pay money to get leads. Where do you go? Go to Facebook first. It's simple. It's a low-hanging fruit. It's hard to scale, but it's easy to start. Go to Google, other search engines like Bing next, okay? Consider Gmail advertising, which is going to be huge, but fairly new. Once you get your TV or you get your video done and ready for YouTube, go to Facebook Watch. Nobody's on Facebook Watch. Nobody even knows you can advertise in Facebook Watch right now. Nobody even knows you can advertise to people in Facebook groups right now. So advertising Facebook ads and targeting people in groups is big. Nobody even knows you can do it right now, okay? So Gmail ads are big, those type of things. Think about LinkedIn advertising in the near future, but focus on those things I told you about. Those 5 or so online volume strategies are the easiest and best ones to tackle because I know they work. We've tested them. They work except for Gmail, which we haven't tested that yet. And then we will keep you informed as more new effective ways of marketing and advertising open up. Again, I don't talk to you in here about theory. I talk to you about what actually works, unless we've tested it and it does actually work. I told you months ago that we tested podcast advertising. It did not work well for us. Might it work well for you? Yes. Would I recommend you do it? No. It's $4,000 or $5,000 to even start, and to spend $4,000 or $5,000 and get no sales. No, I would never recommend you do it. And what I've looked into it is don't think it's worth it for all of us. Will print media work? Will TV work? Will radio work? Will direct mail work? I'll get back to you. All those things I just described are what we're going to be aggressively testing in the next 4 to 6 months. As we get results, we'll tell you what we found worked. We'll show you everything we did. We'll map out exactly how we created every piece, where we got the ideas, what wording worked best. We'll show you all those things that work. But what I'm telling you is what we found to be the most effective. Develop a brand strategy. Develop yourself as your brand. Okay. Make sure you focus on low-hanging fruit. People already coming in your door. People already around you in your day-to-day. People in your inner circle from your social media, et cetera, that you can get to easily. Then go to low-hanging fruit, the grassroots marketing, the affiliates, the networking events. Go to get people from anywhere locally that you can get people from. and build and document all that to hire and train salespeople to do that when you're gone. Then move to a volume marketing strategy where you're actually coming in and doing Facebook, you're doing some Google, you're doing some Bing, you're doing some your YouTube, you're moving to Gmail type advertising. Those 3, 4, 5, you could kick back there for years, just advertise in those and make millions and millions and millions of dollars without ever expanding to other. And before you even expand to another, we'll have already expanded there and let you know feedback wise what works, what doesn't work. Another idea, run a newspaper ad in the local publication. We have one video on that we did years and years ago. The guy spent 60 bucks, got 6 grand right away. That's another great place to go. And once you get those fine tuned, you can even move up to bigger papers, bigger magazines on a regional level as well. So I'm going to wrap this up. I've talked about a bunch of different ways to market, but I've really told you the best way to do it, not just the way that I've seen us grow, but the way I've seen so many of my friends. I came from credit repair, and I sold that business many years ago, but my friends that are still in that space they're all 7, 8-figure businesses. And I don't know if you know anybody that does 8 figures in credit repair, but I do. Good friends that do. And they all did this by the strategy that I'm mapping on. Every one of them got there exactly the same place. Become the authority, focus on the branding, get your low level stuff to bring money in the door, then use the money in the door to start testing in these advertising methods that are the easiest, like Facebook, to start getting a return and scale it from there. Then as you're scaling it, start picking up another one. You can sit with Facebook for a year before you pick up Google. We did. That's okay. We waited 2 years before we got into Google. So it's okay. You can make all your money on Facebook, never make it somewhere else. But if you're going to go to digital and you're going to go online in volume, I've given you about 5 strategies. Any of one can work. You don't have to do them all. Just do one. Just do Facebook. Just do Gmail. Just get one to get off your feet wet, and then start doing others as more money's coming in from more of the grassroots stuff you're doing. Okay, I don't have any other questions at all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any questions, reach out to us. support@creditsuite.com. That's support@creditsuite.com. And don't forget, if you go to custommarketer.com/credit suite, then you can find a great discount with those guys as well. That's my friend Keith Knapp. Keith was one of our first partners that came in the door. He understands business credit very well, has generated tens of thousands of consumer and business credit leads for people in those industries. And he works really closely with our customers to help you generate leads. He can either do it for you or teach you how to do it. That's custommarketer.com/credit suite. And just so you know, I've never made a dime off sending people over to Keith for help. I'm sending you there because I trust him. He knows how to market. He knows how to advertise. Him and I were just together in Miami at Derek's event. And there's 2 things we do. We're either speaking at the event, and if we're not, we're with each other. We're inseparable. We hang out all the time because he's a marketer and I'm a marketer, and we love to talk about marketing stuff and what's working and what's not working. But because him and I spend so much time together, you get that huge added benefit because I'm telling him all the time, here's what works for us. Here's what's not working for us. He's good friend with Alex Fries. Alex runs our marketing division. The 2 live in the same city. So they hang out, they do lunch. So Keith is constantly in our world finding out from us what's working, what's not. We're talking so much that when you're working with him, you're kind of working with us because he's the inside of what we're doing. That's why I sent you over there, not for us to get money, but because I want you to succeed getting leads. And I know he can generate the leads, and I know he's the best at it for our industry because we've worked with him for many years to be the best at it. So custommarketer.com/credit suite. He can help you there as well. So Ralph, hey, great webinar. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it. And content. Remember about the marketing guide and the back office. Marketing guide, the back office, great. Webinar and content webinar about the market. Wait a minute, great. Is there somewhere in the back office that show how to restore business credit? Okay, so Ralph, I'm not sure you said, hey, it's a great webinar content and reminder about the marketing guide in the back office. Ralph, type that in for me one more time because I think I did forget, but I do think I did get the answer, and I'm still trying to get an answer. Somebody else asked about text marketing release, but Ralph, type that in for me. David, is there somewhere in the back office that show how to restore business credit? No, there's not. Remember, our advisors do that. Well, let me rephrase. There may be a webinar in the executive webinar section on this topic that you can grab. There very well may be a PowerPoint on that topic. Our advisors help them do that. So if you have customers, our team works with the customer to fix the business credit. You don't need to know anything about it because our team does it. There is a PowerPoint in the back office that maps it out, and I'll give you the rundown right now. Experian and Equifax, you basically dispute accounts online through their business credit monitoring platform. I know you don't do that with consumer credit, but you do dispute business credit that way. And Dun & Bradstreet has a service called iUpdate. The person goes right to iUpdate to actually update their information through iUpdate. So hopefully that answers your question. Ralph, you might need to type in that question again. I didn't understand your question. I want to make sure you get an answer. You can also email us at info@creditsuite.com. If you're asking about this marketing guide, this is in step 7.3 of partner basic training. Right here under the video, you'll see the guide, but I don't think that's what you're asking about. If you don't get your question typed in here before I wrap up, just email info@creditsuite.com. Be specific about the guide you're looking for, and I'll make sure that I get you an answer. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up, everybody. That maps out everything you need to know about marketing from small to becoming ridiculously big and successful. If you have any questions along the way, reach out to us, support@creditsuite.com. You can also give us a call. Watch this. I'm going to use our contact us button. Then it's new. We should have had it years ago. You can also contact us direct at 855-504-4122. See that? It's easy to get our support number. That's 855-504-4122. Don't forget about Premier Partner, where we do all the work for you. And if you have closed sales you'd like to learn to close, we'll work with you on a 3-way call to even help you close those sales. So whatever we can do to help you become more successful, please reach out to us and let us know. Thanks, everybody, very much. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern.